All right, my beautiful listeners. Now, going forward, before actually going into the parental guidance warning, just a heads up, you're going to hear me grunting it a few times and actually get a little personal, listeners. Your dear GM, he is going through quite a bit. I suffered a horrible injury, and I'm going to be having surgery here in the foreseeable future. I have to wait for the referrals and things, and I'm a broken man, dear listeners, and that's just a heads up about. Oh God, for all the grunting and such. And please remember that going forward, the series carries a parental guidance warning if things of violence, mental shenanigans, gaslighting, and other references to things of violations could be triggering to you. Please remember here on Int, we have other series that don't come with such a hard parental guidance warning. And when I say doing things, if you're a fan of Fear 2, you know why I say these things. But anyway, so we are going back into our favorite fleshy amusement park, utilizing the Mystery Meat Pit Cipher System Edition. It is time for the happiest place on Earth, and oh boy, we are really shaping things up as we are nearing the series finale, dear listeners. Only a few more sessions left until we hit episode 30, the season finale, and that will be one that's definitely going to be one for the record book for Ent when it happens. But in our last session, Yuretsi, Mori, and Moonlight had finally encountered the enigmatic Lantern Man. Now, dear listeners, above board, that's of course not his name. His name could never be pronounced with our human tongues, but Lantern Man is just the easiest thing because one of the first humans to ever come upon and with a favor, they commented about how Lantern Man's head looked kind of like a lantern, and so it stuck. But each one of them approached Lantern Man with a favor. He gazed upon their past, their present, their future, and Lantern Man enjoyed a laugh that, even though this is the vacuum of space, his laughter echoed all the way to Earth, made everyone cringe in just pure terror, and each one had their favor granted for a cost. Bob is staying with Lantern Man to learn the ways of being what humans call a djinn. And Yoretzi, she's now found herself, Alkenfeld's child has now found herself inside of her. So now she is carrying that child now. And last but not least, Moonlight was able to find the way to wake up Riley from his sleep without him losing himself and being taken over by this enigmatic figure named Yeeler. What is the story with that? We will find out. But we do need to go back because immediately we will pick up as the dance has ended on the stage. Well, actually, wait, I do apologize because there actually was a bit more. Bethany actually met a five-headed dragon by the name of Hiram. Maury had a night in the town with a pair of dragons. And Maury enjoyed a night of luxury in the Dragon Skybox, enjoying the talent show that they found out is actually a yearly custom here in the Vale Valley. And Scruffy, he laid down some. My God, the man, he laid down some sax tone. He laid down that sax like no one's ever heard before. And then Sticky Joe enjoyed some of Vale Valley's some of their best arcade games and won a really fancy looking living mustache. And now I will go back to when, as the dance between Riley and Moonlight is ended, the entire Vale Valley has actually showed up for this show. It's actually the 30th anniversary since the first time that Biscuit had inadvertently woken up, came out of the ground, and brought the house over. The Mafia didn't know, the Dons didn't know how they got transported. They're just like, hey, look it, weird things happen. Maybe it's because the PBSO. Moonlight, you and Riley are getting this standing ovation, and the band that was playing the music behind you, they're all wearing white suits, and one of the gentlemen has like that fucking horrendous like duck-billed hairdo that you'd see from like all the old like hair bands from back in the day, and he's just, I think they want an encore. You guys think you can do anything? And Riley's just like, okay. And he walks over to where the guy is like playing on the synth, and he picks up a guitar, and he walks back up to the mic. He looks at you, Moonlight, and he just says into the mic, "This is a song by a little ginger guy," and he goes into singing "Never Gonna Give You Up." Moonlight, roll me a dice real quick. Roll me a d20.
1 second. Oh my god, I got a 17.
Yeah, this is like Riley sounds exactly like Rick Astley. This performance is just amazing, and I was really hoping you would roll high because this trigger makes it perfect. Because during all this, you guys are actually not going to leave Vale Valley right away. You're actually going to stay here for the next 4 days. And I'm going to go to each of you, and I would like to know what happens over the next 4 days. And this essentially going to the tune of as Riley is singing Never Gonna Give You Up. That's right, we're basically setting up a montage. So I'll start with you, Moonlight. What is the next 4 days? What does Moonlight do over the next 4 days here in Vale Valley?
Well, she loves to explore, so she likes to try out different restaurants. She likes finding local hotspots and hanging out at the library. She likes meeting people and just getting to know people.
All right, now roll me a d20 real quick.
I got a 13.
Okay, from your roll from just then, what happens over the next 4 days is as you're exploring, you happen to meet up with the plastic bags again. If you don't remember, the plastic bags look like eldritch, like pit bulls with eight eyes that are not placed symmetrically on the face. They just on their head. It's actually like one eye's like close to the snout, and they don't even have real dog paws. It just comes off to like a point. And of course, they're wearing their greaser jackets. And then the alpha plastic bag, of course, has his big, huge pompadour. And when they first encounter Moonlight, they like the cut of your jib. And does Moonlight hang out with the plastic bags?
Yeah.
And over the course of the 4 days, your sense of style actually changes. Your blonde hair gets all blown out. It's beautiful and curly. You're wearing tight leather pants and a tight leather tank top, and you're wearing black stilettos. And then it comes to the final day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it where Riley found like this varsity sweater, we'll never know. But Riley literally looks like John Travolta at the end of Grease, wearing the varsity sweater. And just Riley just feels so proud of himself. He sees you, and yeah, it just busts into a big old like you guys are singing that song at the end of Grease, and that's when you finally get the message at the end of the answering machine, and Moonlight, oh, it's time to go to Beverly Hills. So you leave a note in the house, and you and Riley take off in a convertible that somehow flies off into the sky.
Okay then. I'm down for this.
And sadly, this is going to how it's going to end for everyone getting involved in this. It's just we're going to see how it ends in the last 4 days. So this is how your 4 days went, Moonlight. My face hurts. And then, so let us proceed now to Bethany.
Yes.
All right. So I need you to roll me a d20 real quick as we start things off.
13.
So this is not just role was to see what you were doing during the talent show, and you landed on the most interesting one. Well, somehow you had gotten talked into doing a magic show with one of the Dawn's lieutenants, and as the show is going off, give me another roll of the d20 real quick.
17.
Okay, everything is going great, but to your horror, you were really hoping it wouldn't go so good because you were told if everyone is really enjoying the show, that means they're going to end with the grand finale, and the grand finale is you being put on a spinning board and them throwing knives at you.
What the? I told him no. I didn't agree to this. Ooh, shit. Stupid brain on drugs.
Somehow you did. So you're spinning. The apple's been like strapped to the top of your head. And just first knife comes close to your leg, right next to your neck. A little bit of blood drawn, and then finally, straight into the apple. The crowd goes wild. You get a really good applause, and then we go into the montage moment. What would Bethany be up to during these next 4 days?
Looking for drugs, obviously.
Okay, roll me a d20 real quick.
8.
Ha! Okay, well, this is happening. So, as you're
Damn it.
going on
Fuck
your
me.
as you're going on your adventure looking around, the first day goes by and nothing real importance, and the only thing you come across is the store that sold the Eldritch catnip, and you have no idea how Bob and Gizmo thought that this was some kind of Eldritch weed when it clearly is a Eldritch pet store. So those guys really need to learn how to read. But into the second day is when things get interesting. You're walking around town, you encounter Hiram, and you've discovered to your horror that the five-headed dragon has developed a little crush on you and just follows you around. And in your process of trying to ditch Hiram, you come across Cecil. And Cecil's just, I'm a good boy, and you look like you are in the need of some provision, of some party favors. And I'm a very good boy, and I would love to help you out. Does Bethany follow behind Cecil, who is a very good boy?
Yes, she does. But she looks at Cecil and says, "Well, keep my ears covered because if you make me throw up black tar again, I'm throwing it up directly on you. Okay, good boy?"
I'm a very good boy. I have no idea what you're talking about. And as you're following behind Cecil, this time instead of black tar throwing up, you throw up an egg that when you crack it, there's black sludge inside. And
She
Cecil just
throws
he, Cecil just
she
gives you
throws
that
this at
bug
Cecil.
dog look. Yeah, to your horror, when you throw it at Cecil, it just phases through him. I'm a good boy. And as you're going on, Cecil leads you to a very you wish this calling it the shady part of Vale Valley, it doesn't do it justice because other towns that you've been to, cities you've been to, like the shady area, yeah, this makes that look tame. You're roll me a d20 real quick, Bethany.
14.
You're barely holding it together because you're just seeing a strange allotment of different entities. You see a living doll that looks like it's wearing a sailor's uniform. It's a porcelain doll that's maybe about 3 feet tall. It looks at you and it's holding what is clearly a bag of very interesting sparkling dust. And it gives you the finger and goes, "Hey, what are you looking at, bitch?"
Like, jeez. Maybe I was hoping for a good time, sailor. Never mind.
Robert will remember this. Just the doll just gives you the does two fingers at his eyes, does a finger at you, and like, I don't remember you.
What?
And then
I'm single.
Cecil looks at you and goes, "Now, all you gotta do is speak your request into this alleyway, and they'll give you what you want."
Huh.
When you when you
Oof.
look at the alleyway, you just see a pair of eyes and then a very wide smile filled with what looks could be reminiscent of what would be like a raptor's teeth. Well, what do you want? What do you need? I got what you need. I'm the pusher man.
Oh, I had a guy like you back in my college days. His smile
I
wasn't as nice as yours, though.
I highly doubt that because I'm not what would you would consider a man. And from the alleyway, you see what looks like the snout of a velociraptor and then the plumage, the feathering, but then what looks like growing from the same area of the feather of the plumage is like really long hair. You see it's definitely what looks like it could be a velociraptor, but still also a humanoid. Yeah, like I said, you've never seen one like me before. What you need, what you need, what you want.
Hmm. Bethany would look at this person and kind of like stroke at her hair and look him up and down. Obviously, Bethany kind of has a natural attraction to people like this. So, yeah, she stutters a little bit and uh, can I want what kind of drugs do you have? I'm more into cocaine.
He just gives you this look of just like, that little lady, you're speaking to a real live dimensional hopper, and you ask for cocaine. Yeah,
Well, I invite
yeah,
you to break the fourth
yes,
wall, but um,
yes. I have cocaine, but the normal stuff, I use that just for when I run out of space coke.
base coke.
Now, I don't think you're ready for that. Now, granted,
Listen,
I'm supposed to be selling this stuff, but it's really good. But he fully comes out of the alleyway now. And what you see standing at about like a good 6'4", they have the aesthetics of a velociraptor in the head. Like I said, the snout, the mouth, the eyes, and then the raptor feather plumage. But then now they have also humanoid hair and a humanoid-esque body because the feet ends with a raptor-style shins and talons, but then they have regular arms, and the raptor talons and claws are actually looks like regular fingers. And he's able to retract the talons into his as like close as possible into his cuticle area of his fingers. He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt that's just open, and he's got like a few gold chains on. The Hawaiian shirt he's wearing it's red because it has a bunch of red parakeets all over it. It's reminiscent of a TV show you saw back in the day called Magnum PI, and he's just got some baggy blue jeans on, and he looks like he's never slept a fucking day in his life with how deep and big his bags are. And you notice in his left pocket looks like a gun, but not some type of gun you've ever seen. It has what looks like a glass dome on it, and just you have no idea what would fire out of it, but the name's Rick, little lady.
Hi, Rick. You said you're a dimension hopper, right? So you're used to being, breaking the fourth wall or so.
He
I
just looks at you and goes, I'm not a comic book character.
you're okay. That just went over your head, I guess. Um, yeah. How much for the drugs?
All right, well, you know what? I'll make you a deal because I do have 7 kilos of space coke, and I'm supposed to be selling these because that Don I met at the Blood Coliseum, I told him I could find him a fighter and everything, and he gave me like a shit ton of like their credits and well about 15 kilos of space coke, and
That
I never found
motherfucker.
and here's the thing, I never found the fighter for him, and so I'm right now. I'm kind of supposed to be like getting fun, so I can like run away or whatever. But I'm just having too much fun because you see him. He pulls out this brick of like polka dot powder, looking powder that is lavenderish, and he just slashes into it, and you just see him put it up to his snout and with one mighty inhale, it's gone. Oh fuck yeah! Oh. So how about this? I haven't really met anyone interesting in this dimension until I've met you and that little fucking dog. Because that little dog, it makes me laugh my ass. 'Cause
Yeah, he makes me throw up, literally.
Cecil just looks at Rick and he's like, oh, come on, man, don't worry. I won't blow any more of it in your face. But I'm a good boy. Not after meeting me anymore. You're not. Cecil runs crying. So this is what we gonna do. What's your name, little miss?
You can call me Bethany.
That is too long for me to remember. I'm going to call you Beth. That is too many letters. So, Beth, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to hang out with you for the next couple. And if we have a good time, I'm going to give you a kilo of this space coke free of charge. Okay?
We can have a good time now, and I can get the drugs, right?
Oh, you've never been with little lady. This is going to be 3 days you will never forget. Does Bethany hang out with Rick?
Of course she does.
Roll me a d20.
15.
Okay, you were one under what you needed, but so it's not going to be that bad, but this is going to take some mental toll on you because what Rick does is he takes you to some interesting dimensions. You won't hang out in Vale Valley. The first dimension he tells you is we're going to have a great time because he's going to take you specifically to the most entertaining point in this dimension. He takes you to a prison holding entities that, well, the best way to describe them would be they would be perfect in a video game called Dead by Daylight. And when you arrive, it's a full-on fucking prison riot escape, and you encounter one entity called Morgie the fucking Corgi. He's about 6'5", wearing a full-on dog suit, and when he makes the dog barks, it sounds like a real demonic fucking dog. And when you encounter Morgie the Corgi, he's having you play fetch with him with a human's torso.
What the? Good boy. Good boy.
One entity that's walking around, half of his torso is flesh, and then the other half is scorched, burned black bone, and there's a reddish electricity homing around his body. And then when he comes by you at one point, he grabs a person, charring them, looks at you. Morgie growls, and you witness these two go into a full-on death battle. You run in fear, and then you encounter this clown entity that chases you through a hallway that's just more reminiscent of a fucking Willy Wonka's fucking nightmare. You're gonna die. I'm gonna get you.
Rick, where the hell are you? Where the fuck did you get me out of here?
And then just as this entity's right above you, you see it get picked up and its head just get twisted in 360 degrees and gets kicked, and when it hits the wall it splatters, and Rick goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot you people are weak. God, you're weak. God, you're fucking weak. I got you, little miss. Come on, time to go." Then
Bethany is crying right now.
and he's having just the greatest time ever, because just watching you go through all that was amazing. And then he takes you to, you still haven't left the prison, he takes you to even deeper in the prison, to when you encounter this entity called Dioxide that's a motherfucking, just looks like a deep sea diver. And you literally witness men trying to run, and then they just get squished just to puddles of gore, because he's literally emulating the pressure of the bottom of the ocean 10 meters around him. He looks at you and starts following behind you. You run in terror, and Rick's just skipping right by you going, "This is the greatest day ever, Bethany. Beth, aren't you having fun?"
Yes, I want drugs. Give me drugs, please. I want to go home. Just give me drugs, and I can survive this if I had drugs.
"Not yet." And he holds out his gun, shoots a portal in front of him, and he holds your hand, you skip through it. Roll me another D20 real quick.
Oh fuck, that's a 3.
Oh shit. Well, this is happening. So, where you pop out next, you're in a Coliseum-like arena. There's fire shooting out near the pillars of the top, and you see entities that you would never encounter on Earth just going at it. Like one fist, it knocks off half of this other entity's face, but it starts rapidly growing back, and they're just going at it. The crowds are screaming, and you see Rick's face just go, "Oh shit. Well, we're really going to have an exciting day today, Bethany, because, yeah, oh fuck." And you see these 3 entities, 2 behind you, 1 in front of you. They're each about 8'5". They each have 6 arms, 9 eyes, and a gaping maw for a mouth.
"Well, Rick, I think you'd be back already. Don't tell us you are so out of your mind. You're a fucking piece of shit."
And Rick's just like, "Hey, Bethany, I mean, Beth, you ever wanted to learn how to do the tango?" And he grabs your hand, and using you as like a makeshift sledgehammer, just starts bashing into the guards, and just holding you like a football, takes off running. And you spend the next few hours running from fighters from this pit. You see an entity made of flame who grows to the size of the Sears Tower, and his fists the size of a meteor come at you, barely missing you, scorching your shoes to where they melt, and now your bare feet are shown. And Rick's just like, "I may be running for my life, but I'm still having a great time. How about you, Beth? You having a good time?"
Bethany at this point is I think she's about to snap. She is about to snap. She looks around and actually looks for a weapon, like a sword and shield weapon.
Well, roll me a D20 real quick.
15.
Well, unfortunately, you don't find a weapon. You think it's a gun, but because you saw some like weird fly creature shooting it, and when Rick punched its head off, you grabbed the weird gun thing, but now it just makes squeaky noise at you, like you could tell it's insulting you, and it's just. And Rick's just like, "God damn, that thing's got a filthy mouth on it." And you go through another portal door. And for this final day, I'm just going to fade to black. And when you guys come back to Night Vale, both you and Rick just have looks of just like, "Oh God, I think I took it too far that time." And you both just cry into each other's arms. And Rick decides, this has been the greatest experience of my life, and I still have a death warrant out for it. So I'm going to hang out with you, because in some of your feared moments in that third day, as you were praying for your life, you were telling just Rick everything that happened in your life, and Rick heard about the PBSO, and he's just like, something like that. So Rick is going to apply to work at the park, and he gives you your kilo Space Coke.
Bethany sits the Coke down, and with everything she's been through, she just plops her head down into it.
Yeah, you see some shit. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. And then I would like to... Maury, it is your turn for us to go over your 3 days of what has happened. Oh, wait, actually, let me check the chat, make sure no one's left yet. Scroll up, down. Oh, okay, no, all right, we're good. All right, Maury, when we last left you, you were in the skybox, and to help describe it, so this was a designed like an amphitheater. So where your seats were in the skybox area, it was you had to actually go into this little cave entrance and go up about a good 3 flights of stairs, and you came up to... The best way to describe it would be like how they have those fancy seats in the up higher rafter areas for operas, but this just has... It's just very luxurious because it could fit a crowd of people. There's quite a few delicacies from where the dragons from their dimension that they hail from. And granted, if you're adventurous, like you could try some of it. Just so a lot of the things you see are still squirming.
Maury's not squeamish.
Okay, so then the Waz, he grabs one of the dishes they really love. It just looks like a little fuzzy little rat that just is like, no! They're just, oh man, they got these guys cooked up perfectly. Here, would you like one? Does Maury try it?
Hesitantly, but sure.
Even in your hesitation, roll me a d20 real quick, actually.
15.
You know what? Even with the little guy going, no! Crunch! You're just, wow, this is actually pretty goddamn good. It has a flavor that you cannot attribute to any kind of protein ever had in your life, and even with like the crunching of what was definitely bones or whatever, it's not unpleasant. It's as if you're like eating a whole shell shrimp, and god damn, it's good. Even like what you think is the fur, it's actually got like an interesting kind of like a sweet texturous taste to it, kind of like a cotton candy, but it's not sweet, super sweet. It's as if more like just for like a off balance it to give it a real umami, and it's just you eat a few of them and you pocket a couple of them. Now, as everything is winding down over the show, what would Maury do over the next 3 days?
I mean, Maury, he's going to do what he usually does. Is he's going to look for things of interest, odd things. And every so often, he's going to go check out the lamp. He's not going to touch it. He's not going to say nothing, but he's going to go look at it and then walk away.
Excellent. Roll me a d20 as you come to check the lamp on the first day.
An 11.
Ooh, alrighty. So, what is waiting at the lamp? Swear for the life of you. Yep, that's definitely a tour bus you see drive by you. And on this tour bus, you see the Sasquatches, the beetles, the Sasquatch beetles. Does Maury follow the tour bus?
Not this time, but he is going to watch as it goes by.
And as you watch it go by, you see all the members of the Sasquatchels come up on the roof, and they're just, you hear the one that looks like Paul McCartney go, and a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, and then go into singing. Oh, God. Yeah, you just slowly pull up a camera, click, put it down. And as you're going by, and man, you're just looking for peculiarities, and this is when you see it, because yes, you might or might not have a one of the glowing cloud species in your collection, but you happen to see one of the other glowing clouds just walking one of their pets, and this is when you notice apparently their fauna are clouds as well. So what this cloud that's walking, it looks like a poodle without legs. So, and just one giant eye. So the poodle portions, and then what would be the fur is the gas cloud portion. Would you like to speak to this cloud about his pet?
No, but Maury is going to certainly take pictures and make note.
As you are taking pictures and making note, you do happen to see him go to a pet store. And this looks like specifically a pet store catered for gas cloud entities. Now, you can decide to visit it today or not, but if you don't, you will see some other things. But what would you like to do?
Maury's going to stick to the shadows for the time being and just observe.
You know what? I'm going to make this really fun then. So as you're sticking to the shadows, you go into the alleyway. in between the buildings. And now roll me a d20 for what you're about to see.
15.
And just like how everything here is winky wonky, this exceptionally thin looking building, when you look through the window, it is 1,000 times larger on the inside, and you see all kind of strange looking gas-like entities. And I don't know if Maury ever was suspicious about giraffes in this universe or not, but you get full clarity that yes, giraffes come from wherever these gas clouds come from, because you see giraffes in there.
There were suspicions. There's just something unnatural about those things.
And you see, like, what they do is they make the cloud, so their body is actually the cloud, and their legs dangle down like jellyfish, and their heads come out of the cloud portion. And when they want to, like, have camouflage and make people think they're normal, they allow their legs to touch the ground, and their body gives a sheen off of like a normal giraffe body. So yes, you're right, Maury, these fuckers weren't normal. And you see the cat equivalent of the gas entity, which is, it's not a whole cat, it's a cloud cat-shaped head with cat eyes and a cat mouth. And you see many other variants. You take notes, and then you continue on, and then one of the last things for this day, you go to the Vale Valley's equivalent of McDonald's. We'll just say it's like V-Donald's. And oh boy, yeah, just like as everything else, this area is just as strange, because when you go in, you ask for a milkshake, and you see the way it works is someone goes to the back, and it's not an ice cream machine, it's a giant purple cow with 4 eyes and 3 udders. Each one's a different flavor: strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla. What flavor of milkshake did Maury want?
Strawberry.
They go over to the strawberry flavored udder, and they squeeze it. Yeah, out comes a milkshake, because one udder is for a milkshake, one udder is for soft serve ice cream. And they come back and they give it to you, and it is like one of the best fucking milkshakes you've ever had. It's the perfect thickness, consistency, and that strawberry flavor. It's perfection.
Maury's gonna ask where they got this cow and if they are purchasable.
And worker goes, "Hold on, let me go get my manager." And this was like a little really skinny, thin looking cephalopod with just zits all over what looked like his face. And he goes back, and this entity that comes back, they look like a jellyfish combined with a human. And he looks and he goes, "Oh, that's quite simple. You're just going to go down the road 3 miles, and you're going to go to Moo Valley Farms. And the Farmer Mac is quite fair with its pricing, and these lovely ladies they're not very rare. They're not rare, so you should get a quite fair price. It's just they're very sensitive little lasses. They need a lot of love."
All right.
And
So Maury's definitely gonna go to the farm.
all right, so we're going to say you're going to go to the farm. When you go back, you go and you're going to set up and go to the farm, and it's now the second day. You head down 3 miles, and yeah, oh my. You're definitely not going to forget this farm, because as you're approaching it, you see giant mushrooms, and then you see different kinds of cows. Like, you see one cow that looks like it's made of mushroom. You see the purple cows that had the different flavors of ice cream and potential. Then you see the milk cows. They have multiple different udders, and you can just assume those are different flavors of milk. And then you see other cows, just like with the mushroom, they take on the properties of like different herbs. Like there's a basil cow, there's actually some fruits and veggies like the tomato cow. And the farmer that comes out, he has about 8 arms, and he's got a big long piece of wheat coming out of his mouth, and he has what looks like a pig snout, but then at the same, so he has some pig aesthetics, but then as you're looking on, he has other aesthetics of different types of animals. Like there's a little bit of cow, a little goat. Well, howdy there. How can I help you?
I'm interested in buying a couple of your cows.
Oh, well, I'm gonna let you know here at Moo Valley, we actually do the selling process a little different, because the way it works is the cows choose the owner. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and let you enter enter into the grounds, and whatever how many cows or the little ladies approach you, you can purchase. Are you okay with that?
Sounds excellent.
All right, Maury, roll me a d20.
So many moves. So many moves. 18.
As you go out, you're standing there. Four of the cows, they raise their heads. One of the milk, one of the ice cream, a mushroom cow, and then a tomato cow approach you. And they just start nuzzling your shoulders happily. And as you're walking around, you see they follow you in unison.
Maury's gonna pet them.
They all happily nuzzle your hand as you're petting them. And Farmer Mac comes and goes, "Well, it looks like you got about four of the moos came for you. Now, I'm going to give you before I tell you the price, I will ask you this. Will you give them the love that they need?"
Yes.
"Then there is no price. Because if you give me your word that you will love them and give them the care they require, if you break this word, they will return to me. So, where do you need me to have them delivered?"
There's a place in the PBSO.
Oh, a few of my cousins actually live down in the PBSO.
Okay.
Actually, I think since you are actually interested in the moose, one of my cousins actually has some very interesting species of the moose down in the PBSO. If you ever have the chance, I think you might be able to encounter his ranch down there. I can give you the coordinates if you'd like.
Oh, I know where it is. It's nice to know you're related.
Well, actually, a little fun fact, I actually come from the tribe from the PBSO. I just decided I wanted to set up business out here on the above ground, but I found myself wandering one day, and I ended up here in this valley, and it's been great to me, and I love it here.
Maury's just kind of gonna nod.
And he takes your direction, your instructions of where you would like the cows delivered, and oh man, I get to reveal one more fun thing. So, how this is going to get... Is this going to be inside the PBSO that you would like it delivered?
Yeah.
Even better. So, he goes over to what looks like a big hole in the ground. It's about maybe a good 45 feet across, 45 feet wide, 45 by 45. And when he goes, "All right, Bessie, I need you to come on up because it looks like we're going to be delivering down in our old homelands, little lady." And you see what shoots up. Looks like, the best way to describe it is, it looks like a sandworm from Dune, but instead of where the sandworm's mouth is, it's a cow torso. You just hear a moo, and you also notice it is actually a transport vehicle as well. So part of its torso has been turned into a transport vehicle. He walks over, he opens it up. I call this the Bessie train. So if you ever find yourself deep in the PBSO and you need some transportation, and I can guarantee Bessie is one of the best safety to have in the PBSO, because I don't know if you know it, but there are actually entities that give off a strong well, best way to say it is a invisibility field from their bacteria. And Bessie is, we call them camping creatures. Bessie is one of the best camping creatures, and you can get pretty lucky because I've heard there's one that looks like a giant octopus, maybe a giant jellyfish that can actually fly through the air because it's able to do propulsion. And I heard rumor that there's a shark that kind of looks like a train. But Bessie here, I call her the moose slug. Moo! And you notice Bessie is gargantuan. Do you want to pet Bessie, Maury?
Absolutely.
Bessie's loving it. Moo! Your four moos are loaded up safely, and they're going to be waiting at the destination that you would like them to be delivered. And Farmer Mac shakes your hand, Maury, and provides you with some actual coordinates of some of the other farms that are in the PBSO that are linked with some of the other civilizations.
Maury's gonna enjoy, because Maury knows pretty much everything everywhere. So he's taking the coordinates out of courtesy, but he never had time to pay attention to things like that because there's fucking generators. Always with the generators. So he's gonna take his time. When he goes home, he's gonna be looking at some stuff.
Oh, and one last thing he provides you. To be able to summon Bessie in the PBSO, you use the cowbell.
Oh my god.
It's a golden cowbell. And on the third day, what would you like to do?
Maury's actually going to step just outside of town and go hunting. This time for trophies, not collections.
Before you step out of town, one of the residents sees you. They notice that you're annoyed, and they come up to you and they go, "Do you plan on coming back?"
Of course.
They hand you a special bracelet. This will let you be able to come back, because I don't know if you know this, but because you're a human, humans normally can't find Vale Valley. This is why you've never seen Vale Valley talked about on the news or anything, is because humans literally cannot find it. Even GPSs, nothing can show it. So this is going to give you the ability to come back to Vale Valley. Because if you tried to just walk back, you'd end up just walking in circles, never reaching your destination. Yeah, I wouldn't want you to get lost now, because, not gonna lie, some of those entities in the mist can get a little grabby. As long as you have that on, you'll be fine. Enjoy your time.
Maury's going to give him a weird look, but take it anyway.
Now, roll me a d20 real quick.
17.
I'm going to give you something interesting. Now, Maury, you seem as a very inquisitive type. The minute you were told about all of that, you decided to test it. So you walk around, you really don't see anything interesting. No, good God, there's some, hey, wow, why is there a moose down here? But who cares? It's a moose. Yeah, ugh. You have a moose that literally is as tall as the Empire State Building. Don't ask where you store it. You're never going to tell. But here's the thing. As you're walking back, you decide to test things. You take off the bracelet, and you are immediately just lost in a mist. And then something tried to grab your shoulder and scare you, but you pulled out one of your fucking just massive pipe wrenches, and you just put on the bracelet. And as the mist dissipated, you see this creature that it's definitely about 5'7", and it kind of looks humanoid-ish, and the face looks like it opens up into like a flower. It would be like a mouth like a flower. And you're like, hey, I don't have one of these, and you drag it by the feet. And when it realizes what's happening, it just starts screaming in fear. And you're just like, shut up! And
it ain't getting away.
And when you get back to Biscuit, you go to one of your you have one of your containment containers, and you toss it in there. And it just realized in horror, it's like, oh no. And this is literally the meme. And this is that moment he just realized he fucked up. And we go to that moment as Maury's just like, this is cool. And now I'm going to come to Sticky Joe.
Here, and I'm Sticky, baby.
All right. Now, before we start what happened over the next 3 days, roll me a d20 real quick, Joe.
Okay, and that is a 8.
Now, everything was going planned for this amazing rock performance, and just as you're getting ready for your moment, you can't find your guitar. And, well, so you decide, fuck it, you're gonna acapella it. And it could have gone worse. The audience, they're not booing, they're just, you know what? I don't hate it, but I don't like it.
I start ham-boning.
Oh, yeah. The audience is just like, okay. And you make it through the performance. It was awkward, but you made it. Now, over the next 3 days, what is Sticky Joe want to do?
I'm gonna call my dad. Haven't seen him since the whole Marauder thing, so I'm gonna catch up with him and my half-brother. I can never get a hold of my mom. She's probably at another spiritual retreat. And I'm gonna talk to Super. Go ahead.
This is going to be fun, because when you call down to because there's phone lines down there, and your dad says, oh well, I'll take the Bessie up to you guys, no problema. Let me just go find my cowbell. You have no idea what he's talking about, and he tells you where to meet him because he knows he's heard of Vale Valley. He's gone there before. You have no idea because you've never heard of this city. You've never heard of this town before, and how he knows, you have no fucking idea. And so you go out to where he is. You see this large hole, what looks like a bus stop, sit and a bench in front of it, and then you just hear this moo, and then a gargantuan sandworm-like cow comes out, and then as it drops down, the doorway opens up, and your father and then your half brother, he's actually not half, the Marauder, your half brother Marauder, who is now, because Marauders rapidly age after they are birthed, he's now about the equivalent of 19 years old. And your dad's just like, you know what? Let's go hit the arcade.
All right, Dad, sounds good. I'm gonna give a nice sticky hug to him.
Now, roll me a d20 real quick, Sticky Joe.
Okay, 15.
Now, as you're there, you're just like, this is your chance to show your younger brother, while he's still younger than you, the chance, like, hey, you can always depend on me for strength. And so you go to the arcade to time for your big comeback of revenge against the machine, against the arm wrestling machine, and you win this time. You don't even have to use your vestigial twin on your chin. You win just fine. But then your younger brother's like, hey, I want to try. And when he goes to the machine, he slams it so fucking hard he breaks the arm of the entity, and he's just like, yay, I did it! And you just realize, oh dear God, he's got that Marauder strength.
There's something. Can I give him a gift?
Oh, of course you can.
I'm gonna give him the pair of pants that I stole right off of the former chief.
As the pants go on him, they take off the look of looking like Jinko jeans, and they now just become like some hipster skinny jeans. And he's just, oh man, I look great. Thanks, bro.
I did the coffee stain myself.
And you're sharing a tender moment, and and then he just gets a mischievous smile on his face, and he goes, but there's just been one question I've been meaning to ask, bro. What's the capital of Thailand? I mean, what's the capital of Thailand? You think for a second, and before you say it, he hits you in the nuts going, Bangkok!
Sticky Joe was proud of him.
And you share a beautiful moment with your family, with your dad and your brother. You play more of the games, and then you go to the record store. You see the Sasquatches record, the Sasquatches that are the Beatles in an alternate dimension. You see some other alternate dimension bands and your eye catches you to where you see what looks like a baboon that's dressed as Fred Durst, and it's just Chimp Biscuit, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm taking this. And literally one of the songs in the back is I did it all for the nanners.
I'm gonna buy t-shirts and CDs for the whole family.
Oh yeah, you all got somehow they actually had some of the tour merch for Chimp Biscuit. You got some of that badass t-shirts, and you even got a concert poster. And now here's the question: are you wanting to spend the 3 days with them, or are you wanting to do anything different over the next 2 days?
Okay, so there are 2 things I'd like to do. Okay, maybe 3, depending on how you want to play this out. One of them, I definitely, while my family's here, I want to introduce Peggy to them. So things are feeling pretty serious with us. And the other thing is, I'd like to have like a training session, a little heart-to-heart with Super Kami Guru, and the third, if there's time, I want to go see my Dark Overlord Mori and bring an offering of a giant Three Musketeers bar.
Now, we'll see if these plans want to stay the same, because you said, Peggy, roll me d20 real quick.
Nat 20.
Joe, even with all of your fucking moments of like just cluelessness, even you couldn't miss the fact that Peggy is glowing, which is a sign that you can definitely tell Peggy is pregnant. And she walks over to your dad, seeing that she considers that her dad now, and then she whispers something into his ear, and she's just got a big old smile on his face. And your dad punches you in the arm. You fly back about a good 10 feet, and he's just, oh God, I was so worried I would never be a granddad.
Sticky Joe gonna have a sticky baby. I gotta tell everybody.
Peggy looks at you and says, we are not naming our child with any kind of sticky name.
Yes, honey.
And they say, like, she's just got that mom. She's already got the mom look. She goes back to a happy smile again. She goes to just to sit down and relax. And she starts eating a lot. And your younger brother's just like, man, I'm so jealous. She's perfect. Now, when you go to Super Kami Guru, the faking, he goes from his plump, rotund self just to immediate blow up, just all of his clothes explode, and he's just now in a Speedo, just doing bodybuilding poses. Oh, yeah. What can I do for you, my pupil?
How can I be a dad?
All of his muscles instantly deflate, and he just shrinks down to like maybe 5'1". Okay, this is not punching logic. You actually need a real talking to. And he snaps his fingers, and so when he does that, that triggers a device, and two little puff clouds appear behind you, and he sits down on one, and it makes like a cloud armchair, and he motions for you to sit down. Do you take a seat, Joe?
Yes.
Well, Sticky Joe. Actually, I'm just going to call you Joe. Well, let me tell you something. As a fellow father, I have 600 children, and I have 1,500 grandchildren. And for the first 400, I was a real bastard and a real selfish man. Put my own needs before anyone else, because I was obsessed with being a king and everything, giving in to my desires. But then after my father Oberon gave me, when I thought I took it from him, gave it to me so I could learn a real lesson, I finally realized I was a selfish prick. Yes, I have fun here and everything, but I can tell you right now, when it comes to my kingdom, my subjects, and my family, I take things very serious. And I'm a king second, and I'm a father first. If being a king was to do anything to jeopardize my family, I would happily just give up my title. I wouldn't care. Joe, first things to be a father, you need to recognize your flaws. And you need to after you've recognized them, accept what you can change for the better, and what is something that, yeah, it's a flaw, but you can make it you can make it your own, make it a tool for yourself. And then you gotta ask yourself, because being a dad is more than just a word. And as he sits there, he gets closer to you. He puts two of his hands on your left shoulder of his many arms, and he's just so. And you gotta be ready to admit when it's time for you to put your family first. So being strong is great and everything, but now you need to work on that strength here, buddy. And from his hands leave your shoulder, they all touch your chest where your heart is. Super Kami Guru believes in you. You got this, buddy. Just hopefully, hey, as long as it's only like one, and it's not like she gives birth to like 10 kids at a time. And we flash to Peggy going, I'm so excited. I'm having 10 lits.
It was scared.
But Joe, hopefully this helps you, my friend. Is there anything else you need to ask me?
Can you help me? Can you help me not be such a dumbass? See, Joe is strong. Joe is very, very strong, physically, and he's working on being strong spiritually. But now it's like, man, I'm gonna be a dad. I can't be stupid anymore. It's more than life than cannibalism and working in a park.
Now, this is when roll me a d20 now, because this is going to go into the third day now.
17.
Well, here's the thing. If this was a cartoon or some kind of logic, I'd give you that one, Scruffy, about in the Discord chat how you said you can't fix stupid, but this isn't that. This Joe, as you're going through the course of the next day, this isn't just something simple like Super Kami Guru, you just sit and you have a very intense conversation with him about just through life, and he's telling you, like, there's more to being smart than just book smarts, street smarts, common sense. These are many things that you need to start accepting, especially that little voice in your head that when they tell you, you need to start listening to them. And then in the afternoon, Super Kami Guru is teaching you the basics of cooking and everything. And then when it gets really serious, you talk to him, tell him about the cannibalism, the shot in your neck, the Wendigo project, all of that. And Super Kami Guru, he asks permission. Can I draw a blood sample?
Sure.
So from his pinky, a needle ejects, and he ejects it into you, and a little canister from his wrist pops out with the blood sample. He pulls a little pod from his belt, clicks it. This little makeshift blood analysis testing set pops up from the fog. He sits down, he's running your blood, analyzing it. Joe, you're not a Wendigo. Interesting. Fascinating. You know what? Hold on. So his hand bends back another 90 degrees till it's perpendicular with his arm, and a little keyboard pops out from the stump area, and he just typing away, and then from his thigh area, a little canister pops up and a glowing orb pops out. But it's like a glowing pellet, looks like. And he's like, "Hey Joe, how about you come outside with
Hey, there's not even
Now-
questioning anything. He's just be fully trust. I mean, with a name like Super Kami Guru, how can you not trust him?
Now, when you go outside, he presses the side of the pellet, and like a top pops up, like it's a clear orb holding a bunch of. And he pulls, and what comes out, it looks like about the size of like a Minto, and it's still like a glowing pellet. And he closes it up. He throws you just the main pellet, and goes, "Hold on to that, but eat this."
He consumes it.
You drop the orb out of your hand, and you're holding your stomach, you're holding your hands, and goes, "Trust me, Joe, trust me. This is going to help you, and this is going to help you finally start piecing everything together to be a better Joe." And your skin starts thickening, turning into an intense yellow. Your arms sinking into your body until your fingers disappear, your legs doing the same, your head sinking into your abdomen, and your eyes going to the sides of your abdomen, and your mouth going into the center, and then your body just starts to expand, growing till it's about 10 meters across, and your mouth rips open, exposing 5 layers of just intense sharp fangs that are about a good 12 inches in length. And you let out an intense roar, followed by a waka 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 waka. And then as the glowing eyes and the sides go, you go back to normal, shrinking until finally your body painfully goes back to normal. And Super Kami Guru crouches on the ground and goes, when you master that form, Joe, you'll be the best Joe you've ever been. Master the Pac-Man. Master it.
I was trying to contemplate, like, is this really happening, or did I accidentally get into Bethany's drugs?
Super Kami Guru pinches your cheek. This is indeed happening, my friend.
Oh, I know now what I must do. I need to try to sell my my Flex Seal and duct tape products to all these mobsters. I got to think about putting money away for college for kids and stuff. I got to start wearing pants that have pant legs.
Super Kami Guru just bonks you on the head. Somewhat, Joe. You're getting there. You'll get there. And now, now it's time to go to someone whose future is really going to be shaping fun. Let us now go to our favorite park guide. You're at sea. At the end, you were sitting and talking with Bruno, and he fainted. And he decided, like, okay, let's go take in these talent shows. Help think. Roll me a d20 real quick. Oh, one more time?
That's a 20.
Oh boy, you get the really fun one. As you're getting to the show, you feel like there's something new in your bag that you're holding, and when you reach into it, you just hear a I left you something a little extra. And you see another golden apple, Yuretsi.
Oh,
And you have a feeling he gave you that to give to Bruno.
yeah, she'll do that.
Bruno's just like, wait, well, you know what? He takes a bite of it, and as you guys are walking, he just falls to the ground, and his body just starts shifting, cracking, and changing. And what was the skinwalking looking creature, skinwalker, now looks like a ancient Aztec warrior. And he's looking at his hands, and he's looking at you, and at first he stops, but then he's able to shift and change like his hands into the big massive Bruno hands at command, and he can change back into his normal form again, which he has not been in over 1,000 years. He was going to run over and just throw you in the air and like catch you and everything, but then he remembers, and he just gives you a big hug, Yuretsu, and you take in the show.
She's gonna hug him back and whisper Yotsun to him.
He blushes. Now, Yuretsu, what is your plan for what would Yuretsu like to do for the next 3 days?
She'd mostly be getting the spirit ready to work at the park. She didn't really have any plans, really.
Roll me a d20 real quick.
It's a 16.
All right. As you're talking to the spirit, and you're telling him about what to expect as a guide, you hear a slight speech in your mind, and then when you look at your hand, you see a glove is formed around your left hand, and it is the prototype. It's finally woken up, and it's just, I was sleepy. Ooh, where are we?
In a place called Impale. I forgot I had you.
Yes, I was really tired because I exerted all of my power. Unfortunately, it's going to take quite a bit of time before I am like that again, but thankfully, with what I have right now, you're at sea. Your prototype now, since it's awake, this prototype is a strength enhancing prototype, but it comes with a few little caveats. As of right now, it can only enhance your left hand, but you can lift about a ton with your left hand when the glove is active. It'll stay active for 2 minutes. And as you level up and you apply level up into the glove, it will actually become a full jacket that goes from your left arm to your right arm. And then it'll give you that same 1-ton strength for left and right arms. And if you find out the way, you can make it apply to your legs. But that is something else you'll have to figure out. But that is your prototype.
Okay.
Now, would you, because this is just, you can have the chance just to do some testing with your prototype if you would like to, as you're discussing the responsibilities at the park with the spirit. And we're going to go ahead and call him, because he's decided to take the name Root, like a tree root. But if you would like to do any testing with the head, I'll just need another roll real quick.
It's hard to understand women. I got a 15.
You find you are in fact able to lift a car with your hand. You can lift it above your head. This literally is giving you that type of strength in your arm. So you're able to lift things, throw them. You could throw that car a good distance away. No one is ever, it's like you feel that this is going to give you such an unfair advantage in the company-wide fight club, but hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. And this is going into the second day, discussing, and this is when Root had actually decided over the night, he told you he's able to, if he sleeps outside, he's able to extend his roots down to the ground. And he might be able to extend that into the PBSO and essentially map out the PBSO. He's going to give that a try. And all right, he didn't roll that bad. Now, the next morning, he tells you he was able to map out about a good 30% of the PBSO. And he tells you there was a very interesting part of the PBSO that he thinks you would find the most fascinating, Yuretsi. It's a portion that literally the entirety is living flora. Like, there are humanoid-shaped plants that are walking around, humanoid-shaped deer, plant-shaped deer, other animals. Like, this is an entire section of just a society made of flora species that he has found inside the PBSO. Would you like to have the coordinates?
Oops, sorry. Yes.
You're going to take that knowledge. Now, and, interesting. This seems like it might be close to actually where you guys are going to be going for the expedition. You'll have to make sure to get this to Riley and see if that is in fact true. But into the third day, is there anything last specific things you would like to do in Vale Valley?
Despite being a guide, she doesn't like wandering around unless it's her job. So she's
Gotcha.
a home buddy.
Gotcha. Alrighty. So, into the third day, if anything, it's just a calm day of discussion. You're just you're just discussing more about the coordinates with Root, and he tells you a little bit more about what what he was able to map out into the PBSO. And because of that, I would actually like to include one other person, because Moonlight, oh, you're still muted on our end. Because what I was going to say, Moonlight, is before you took off with Riley, I was going to ask, because you definitely did happen to notice Root. Darn it, still not coming in.
We got some technical issues.
Just a quick technical issue. Hold on just 1 second, dear listeners, while I help 1 second.
Always someone that has a technical issue.
Okay, while we're finishing up these technical parts. Before I finish up the Uretzi portion, I will go to Scruffy real quick.
I hear Kitty screaming.
Yeah, I was going to say, do I hear a really small cat somewhere?
Yes, that's Edgar. He's yelling right now. Edgar, not right now, buddy. No.
Meow.
Edgar, no. But yes, so now, Scruffy,
Mhm.
first things first, I need you to roll me a d20 real quick.
Well, that isn't great. That's a 5. Or it's fantastic.
Oh, you see, this wasn't specific. This is to see what would get triggered, and this is, once again, the more interesting option, because as you're on stage and you want to start playing Careless Whisper again, but you're not feeling confident, but as you're getting ready to start, you see the members of Wham come up and they take off their human disguises and they reveal themselves to be plastic bags. But Scruffy, you were on stage with them and you play, like, honestly, one of the best renditions of Careless Whisper just ever heard. Even if you're having a hard time trying to keep it together and not lose your mind just blasting everyone with your cannon. But now, here's the question, Scruffy. What is Scruffy going to be doing over the next 3 days?
Gruff is a musician now. He's living this life.
Okay, then, so on the first day, you're actually going to be hanging out with the plastic bag Wham. The Wham plastic bag revealed. And roll me a quick D20 real quick.
That's an 8.
Now, granted, last night at the talent show, you were able to keep it together, but when they first approach you, you do lose it for a minute, and your arm turns into a cannon, and you shoot them, and they wind up switching bodies. But instead of them getting mad, they're just, oh, this is sexy, baby. I love it. And they immediately take you with them to the studio. And they record, because they just have to record an album like this, and the album's titled Freaky Friday. And Scruffy, you are on the cover of this CD.
Gruff has never listened to a CD himself, so he's going to take that with pride.
And they give you enough to give to everyone a copy in the house with you in the group. But now here's after recording, they are going to invite you for a night on the valley. Or is Scruffy going to join them?
Oh, of course. Scruffy would rather be nowhere else. Why?
All right, roll me a quick D20.
Well, that one's a 19.
It's of all times for you to roll high. So you wake up on a pool table and you have the worst hangover of your life. Like, you have no idea what you drank, but oh God, you swear that took some years off your life. And you realize it is now the afternoon of the third day. And then this is because of that 19. You're not going to have to go on a hangover quest to find out what you did, because everything plays through your mind. And I was actually just about to mention that, Maury. That night, you went to the house and you found the Emperor Penguin had finally made it to you guys, because he was just, you guys are assholes. You left me in the goddamn RV and you left the fucking RV on the hill. Thankfully, I was able to find my way here because I had to walk. It took me forever. And to make it up to Emperor here, which he is now taking that name, or he says you can just call him Emporio. You, Emporio, and the members of Wham, you start the night off by going to one of the most famous Vale Valley bars. And because you rolled a 19, you destroyed their drinking challenge. You literally got to the point to where Emporio was doing a fucking keg stand, and you guys weren't done yet. It may have been 5 a.m, but fuck it. Still more partying needs to be had. You make it to the tour bus. And granted, you know what? No, it's actually something even more amazing than that, because Emporio, he reveals that, god damn, he plays a mean bass, and then Scruffy on the sax, and then the Wham members doing their respective roles, one on the synth and the other singing. You four realize, holy shit, you sound amazing. And you decide to name yourselves after one of the entities in Vale Valley. So you call yourselves the Giraffes, but instead of a S, it's a Z.
It's a Z because we're edgy.
Yep. And that's when one of the members just says, "Hey, I got a crazy, edgy idea. We should have animated avatars for us." Scruffy, I will have you tell me what your band member will look like later, because then with this newfound fame and literally the WAM members call their agent and Scruffy, roll me a d20 real quick.
16.
Jesus Christ, you destroyed the negotiation process. This is literally like in fucking in Metalocalypse when Deathclock had to do the negotiation with the devil and they negotiated it so bad that even Satan they destroyed him so bad Satan was like, I'm just gonna go think about this. That's what you made this agent just go, what the fuck? And this is your first time and it's you just have on these little glasses and you're just like, Scruffy ain't no fool. Scruffy knows how to negotiate contracts.
Well, Scruffy does know how to negotiate.
And with those successful negotiations, and I just want to point out, you are still very, 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 very drunk at this point. You go out to celebrate more. And the WAM members, they're like, we have to rent the most luxurious vehicle ever. So you go to the Moo Valley and you get a Mousseline, which is a cow that is in the shape of a limo. And it has a hot tub in the back of it. And my God, it's filled with very hot milk and rose petals. So your skin gets very nice. And you guys commence to drink every single thing of booze that can be found in Vale Valley. And you stole a giraffe from the pet store. Emporio's looking at you. He's like sitting on top of the giraffe's back and he's just, Scruffy, just a gallon of booze vomit. I think we stole a giraffe.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, baby.
Can we keep him?
I'd be upset if you didn't.
Can we name him King?
Well, he really looks more like a Todd to me, but King's okay, I guess, as a nickname or something.
The giraffe looks at you when you name him Todd, and he just gives you the knowing nod. He likes Todd better. And in your this pure oh God, you feel you're more liquor than man. You're given some exciting news from your fellow band members as you're told, hey guys, we've been hired by Hugh Hefner to play a show at the Playboy Mansion in the next couple of days. We're getting paid quite a bit of money, and it's to celebrate some person. They work at the Happiest Place on Earth. They're apparently doing a cover spread shoot, and he wanted to make this a really big celebration for them. I think their name is Moonlight.
I might have heard of them.
Oh, okay. So we just wanted to find out that if you don't have any problems with having to go to the Playboy Mansion, do you?
Scruffy stops to think for a moment, kind of catches up, processes everything that just happened, and goes, "This is the happiest day of Scruffy's life."
Scruffy, you leave a note on the front door, but now this is actually, before you can leave this note, because this is actually going to be more of a perfect chance for me to finally get everyone together, because Riley and Moonlight are getting ready to head to the car, but Retsy's coming from the back of the house now, walking with Root, and Riley's jaw drops because he's just like, oh my God, it's a tree man, and he's just jumping in excitement, just like, and Maury, you see Emporio, the emperor penguin that you guys left back in the RV, riding one of the giraffes. And Sticky Joe, you just finished saying goodbye to your parents. And Bethany, you awaken from a coma and you come from inside the house with Rick. And that's when Maury, Moonlight, Uretsy, and Scruffy, you notice the Velociraptor humanoid wearing a Hawaiian shirt that's unbuttoned with gold chains and just loose-fitting blue jeans. And I'm going to let this be a group roleplay moment for everyone.
Sticky Joe gonna be a daddy.
Maury's gonna give Sticky Joe a look.
Yes, you too.
Oh, God, I just choked.
Is everyone giving me those looks?
Just congratulate Sticky Joe.
Whoa, wait.
I didn't even know that I could reproduce.
Oh, you go ahead. You first, Bethany.
Wait, so is your Etsy's stomach like noticeable?
I was waiting for someone to actually ask that. Yuretsi, you look 3 months pregnant.
Okay, so just barely.
Okay. Well, Bethany would lift her head up from her bag of cocaine and just with it just like hanging from her face and her nose, and she hears Sticky Joe saying he's a dad, and so I don't know if she would actually. Yeah, should I roll for this?
I was waiting for this moment because Rick is just like, oh man, everyone's getting together. Bethany, you seen
Yeah.
anyone?
Bethany kind of grabs her hair and kind of strokes at it. You know, not, I mean, it's not a committed thing.
Rick's just like, well, you might be speaking my language, and just pointing out there's a velociraptor humanoid that Bethany is getting hit on.
Bethany
Maury's
allows
seen
this.
weirder.
Actually, Maury, you recognize Rick. He has brought you a lot of your collection items that you have from different dimensions. Just Rick hasn't looked at you yet, so he hasn't said anything.
Okay.
But you clearly recognize Rick.
Yeah, Maury's not gonna say nothing. Not till he notices.
And yes, and everybody else, and Moonlight Riley's been pulling on your arm, pointing at Root, the spirit that is now. He's actually wearing a park uniform.
I look at Root. I be like, hey, that's a nice uniform. You gonna join the group?
Actually, yes. Miss Uretzi is actually going to help me actually get a job, and that's actually when the Velociraptor Rick turns around and goes, "Yeah, actually, Bethany's gonna help me get a job." Holy shit! Is that fucking Maury?
Maury's just gonna stare at him.
He just blinks once, twice, slowly turns and just goes, "My God!" Just gonna keep my mouth shut. Just gonna keep my mouth shut.
Bethany looks at Rick and Morty and just like, I'm pretty sure that guy. I'm pretty sure he's just the devil, or the guy that gave the devil his job.
You know what, Bethany? I think you're right about the last one, because I'm going to be honest with you. I believe I have met the devil in certain times, and even he doesn't terrify me as much.
Yeah, I'm
That's just because you don't
surprised.
see them.
And now, so the Wham members have actually put back on their normal human disguises, and they've come to tell Scruffy about where they need to go meet. And yes, this is when you all notice George Michaels, and dear God, I can't remember the other member of Wham. Sorry about that. But you do see the two members of Wham, and Riley's just, holy shit, it's George Michael. Oh, and they look at you all and they go,
Wait,
oh,
who?
George Michaels, the lead singer, the singers of Wham. They did Careless Whisper. God damn it. Oh, Wake Me Up Before You Go.
Well, I'm asking as Sam and also Moonlight because she has no clue who anyone is.
Oh, Riley's going to tell you all their songs.
Andrew Ricky.
He's like, honey, that's the band that's honestly does one of my favorite songs in the world. I'm Your Man. I love that song very much. Why are you guys here?
Oh.
I guess you guys all know Scruffy there, but he's actually our new bandmate in our new super group we're calling Giraffes. I mean, have you heard that man on the saxophone? Riley looks over at you, Scruffy. He's just, holy shit, man. You know what? You learn something new every day about your coworkers. That is awesome. And we gotta go do this concert in Beverly Hills at the Playboy Mansion because Hugh Hefner says he's got to do this. He's going to be holding a special concert for the person who's doing the cover spread. Their names. What is it? What was it again, George? Moonlight. Yeah, Moonlight. Riley looks over at you, Moonlight, and just goes,
Hey, I'm Moonlight.
wait, babe, you're going to be in Playboy?
Who the fuck she getting Playboy before me?
Oh, I looked down at Riley's like, oh yeah, right before you came back from this office, I kind of ran into this old guy who looked super rich, and I led him to the God, what's it called? The Lavinia pools. Him and some really cute women in some really sexy bunny outfits, and we just got to talking, and he offered me a spread, but I thought he was talking about food. But turns out that the one girl I was with, she explained that it's a photo shoot.
That's fucking awesome, honey. That is so cool.
Moonlight's just beaming.
Oh, so wait, if you're gonna, would everyone here just like a ride in our tour bus then? You see a very luxurious looking tour bus.
Maury's going to vaguely motion towards the house cat and be like, what about Biscuit?
Biscuit's head pops up and it's like they're like, oh, Biscuit can follow. Oh, if they can follow behind, if they can. Heck, I'm sure Hef would love to see a giant cat like that. You only see that every now and then. Biscuit's beaming, just like, it's up to you guys if everyone wants to come, though.
Maury's a little iffy, but gonna go along with it.
Riley is just already happily running through the tour bus. This is the greatest day of my life.
Yes.
What was that? What was that? Yuritsi?
Yuritsi would ask Bruno, because she
Bru-
doesn't know what's
Bruno?
going on.
Bruno's just like, I haven't gotten to take part of any kind of actual human society things in over 1,000 years, so whatever this is, I want in.
Of course, Bethany's gonna go.
And yeah, this is when you all notice that Bruno now looks like a Aztec warrior. He's wearing the typical garb of an Aztec warrior, and he's human.
Or he's gonna congratulate him on his humanity and then tell him he's sorry for his humanity.
So Bruno at first was like, hey, wait. Oh. He just sadly walks to the tour bus. And Emporio the penguin's just, well, of course he's going because he's the synth player. And so when you all see Emporio now, his garb that he's wearing, he's dressed like Michael Jackson from the Thriller album. So he's wearing the red leather outfit, but he's also got the what are they called? The window shade glasses on, and the match with his red leather outfit. He just moonwalks into the RV, and Riley's just like, "Holy shit! I forgot there was a penguin with us." And this is when, so Moonlight, I will say, because you haven't gone into the van yet, you do notice that the giraffe, it's actually started to shrink until it's finally hand size, and it just floats into the RV. You see a little giraffe that has little dangly like jellyfish legs. Its legs are like jellyfish limbs, and its body is a cloud, and the giraffe head comes out, and it's shrunk down to about the size of a house cat.
Oh my god, her eyes just go full twinkle, and you are the cutest thing ever. You're gonna sit with me.
Ted happily is just, meow, and Ted is just, when the cloud's on your lap, it just feels nice and warm. And Scruffy, you're the last one to go in the RV. And that is where we will actually wrap for this session as the RV goes off for the Playboy Mansion. And this is going to be 2 days that I believe will live on with every member in this RV, that they will never forget what happens over the course of these next 2 days. One little spoiler, and I will tell you right now, it ain't Riley. One of the members in this group is going to wind up inheriting the Playboy Mansion. So I want to find out in the comments section, who does everyone think it's going to be? And if who's ever right, you know what? I'll send them a signed picture of one of the characters for them. If they win, they can send the message and tell us. So until it's because I want to start doing more fun things like this for you, dear listeners. So please make sure to hit in that comment section. Who do you think is going to be the one to inherit? And it sounds like Sticky Joe's guessing Yuretsi.
I'm gonna go with that too, because that's hilarious.
We got 2 for Yuretsi. I love this. So until the next one, dear listeners, goodbye.